Fox 21 Local News right now. Your local forecast first. Sponsored by Integrity Roofing and Painting.
Hi, I hope you had a great day. I'm meteorologist Valerie Mills, and what a gorgeous day we saw across southern Colorado. Woke up to a beautiful sunrise. Here was the look in downtown Pueblo. Looking out over our Southwest Motors camera from there, it just kept getting nicer. We had bluebird skies really throughout the day. Hardly even saw any clouds as we were heading into the late afternoon and evening time frame. And with all of that sunshine, we were able to warm things up a few degrees this afternoon. All of our lower elevations were able to touch back into the low and mid 80s. Reached a high of 80 this afternoon in Colorado Springs, 84 for Pueblo, and a mix of 50s and 60s across our mountain valleys. Out there tonight, feeling very pleasant. We're sitting at 61 over our Quick Care MD camera. We have calm winds, but it is dry thanks to an area of high pressure, and that's going to keep us pretty warm once again tomorrow after a cool start in the 40s. I'll talk about your Sunday forecast and when our next cool down is arriving coming up. Fox 21 News at 9 starts right now.
This is Fox 21 Local News right now at 9 p.m.
Fox 21 Local News right now. An armed suspect wanted in El Paso County taken into custody in Pueblo County. What law enforcement is saying about the negotiations. And thousands of people in Colorado Springs gathering for what they called a peaceful protest, but face coverings were few and far between. What their message is. Good evening. Welcome to Fox 21 Local News right now. After the game, I'm Cmoore. Thanks for having us in your home tonight. Right now, first on Fox 21, a man is now in custody after pursuit with law enforcement in multiple counties. Just after noon today, Colorado State Patrol in El Paso County notified Pueblo County Sheriff's Office that they were looking for a couple involved in a possible carjacking. Officials believed the suspects were in a truck on Overton Road, southeast of I-25 and Purcell Boulevard. The truck was reported stolen out of El Paso County. According to the Pueblo County Sheriff's Office, deputies were dispatched to the area. One of them came across two people walking. The two of them took off and the woman got away into the riverbed. And the man ran and hid next to a tree behind a hill, and the Sheriff's Office SWAT team, along with Pueblo Police and State Patrol, set up a perimeter. 46-year-old Dustin Wasberg sat down in a field and put the gun between his legs, while deputies say he continued to ignore verbal orders to surrender. However, more than 5 hours later, he turned himself over to the police.
We brought in some hostage negotiators that are trained in that. We had the ability, and with our SWAT team as well as all of our great law enforcement friends, to set up some time and manage to talk this guy into giving himself up, and he did.
The woman he was with is still on the loose. Deputies searched the area by drones and on foot, but they were unable to find her. The woman is considered a person of interest in this incident. She's also wanted on felony warrants. Anyone who sees anything suspicious in the area should call 911. Right now, new tonight, Palmer Park now back open after being closed in both directions from Powers to Space Center Drive after a crash involving at least 5 cars today. Just before 2:30 p.m., a witness told Fox 21 that a truck with a trailer was going southbound on Powers, attempted to turn right. The trailer jumped the median, hit a car there, and went airborne into the Walmart parking lot, hitting several other cars. Police say several people went to the hospital, but it's unclear the extent of their injuries at this time. The driver of the trailer ran away from the scene. However, the passenger stayed there. The road was closed for about 5.5 hours while police investigated the crash. Right now happening in Colorado Springs. A man was taken to the hospital after being shot in Colorado Springs earlier this morning. Officers were dispatched to the area of Circle Drive and Platt Avenue in reference to a possible shooting around 5:30 a.m. CSPD says a 25-year-old man showed up at the hospital and was shot in the chest. According to police, the victim was not able to provide a location of where the shooting happened, but described the suspect as a Hispanic man about 5'10", chubby, with short hair, wearing a blue hoodie and blue jeans. The person shot is expected to be okay. The investigation is ongoing. Also in the spring, several local churches put on what they are calling a peaceful protest and worship this morning at Memorial Park. The event bringing together thousands of people, and as you'll see in the video, a majority of those attending not wearing masks. Fox 21's Courtney Fromm was there and shares why they decided to host this event in Colorado Springs.
Kind of felt like kind of a spirit-filled Leonard Skinner concert. Around 5,000 people from across Colorado coming out to worship.
It gives us permission. It's kind of like permission giving. Cut loose, you guys, in worship and be free in worship.
Many people showing up mask free.
Honestly, a lot of people have preferences not to wear them. So I don't think it's really to like be rude or, you know, not be kind to people, but I think it's just part of like wanting to worship and be outside and do it together.
I'm okay with it because I'm not, obviously not wearing one. I'm not afraid of it, of the virus.
Pastor Steve Holt says everyone had their choice to wear a mask or not.
What I love about America is that we can agree to disagree. And so we believe that being out here, it was a very healthy atmosphere. And even though, especially up near the stage, they were pretty tight, we'll trust that if anybody came with some kind of immune compromised system, that they understood to not go up there.
I have one just in case I feel uncomfortable, but worshiping with your mask on is pretty hard.
Pastor Holt says he believes this worship was needed for the community.
That's another part of the reason why I'm here is because we can't have services indoors.
Especially, he says, since the coronavirus has changed how church services are held indoors.
And probably the biggest pandemic of what we've been through is not the pandemic that's viral, it's the pandemic that's a broken relational situation that we've been in. And many people are so lonely. So there was all this connection with people horizontally and then with God vertically.
That was Fox 21's Courtney Fromm reporting. Across Colorado now, Governor Jared Polis announced today that he is extending the statewide mask mandate for another 30 days. It would have expired this weekend. At this time, 39 Colorado counties and municipalities already have mandatory mask orders in place. The governor first announced the mask mandate on July 16th in response to a rising number of COVID-19 hospitalizations in the state. Data from the state health department now shows the number of hospitalizations has decreased from 275 on July 20th to 142 as of today. Well, still to come tonight, 5 years later, one woman's search for her missing father continues.
You don't see this every day. People don't just go missing.
What detectives are saying about this cold case. Stick with us.